Finally, the World Cup final. For the first time in 30 years, we have this situation in the World Cup final. The 2022 World Cup might not be until November, but that doesn't stop me from going to FM22 and running it right now with the real groups. Now, I've downloaded a real group fix from FM Scout, but I've made a tweak to it because that download has Peru instead of Australia. So I've made a change to that in the editor to get the real groups. But I'll put a link down below to that download so you can run the World Cup yourself. Right, let's have a look. Right then, here you can see we have got the groups, Group A down to Group H, with all of the correct teams, and the games start on the 21st of November. You can see down there all of the teams who have qualified now. We've got Australia in, we've got Costa Rica in, Wales are in as well. So we've got all of the groups now after everyone has finally qualified. So let's go through and just simulate this World Cup, shall we? We've got everything set up. We're good to go. Let's go. Let's go through the group stages and through all of the knockout rounds. Okay, group stages have been simulated, and this is how they have finished. Group A, won by the Netherlands at a canter, but the hosts, Qatar, after beating Senegal in the first game, drawing with Ecuador, 4 points has taken them through. And then England are through as well with Iran, despite drawing their opening fixture with Iran. Victories against USA and a thrashing of Wales 6-0 has put England through to the first knockout round along with Iran. Let's go through to the next set of groups as well. Group C is up next, and it's a surprise. Mexico have topped the group ahead of Argentina. Argentina dropping points to Mexico, winning their second two games, losing the first game against Mexico 3-1. Mexico putting their stamp on the group, but drawing with Poland to not get maximum points. They are through, as are Argentina. Group D, no massive surprise. France and Denmark through. France winning all of their games. Denmark only obviously losing to France. Australia picking up 3 points against Tunisia. Nothing really a shock in Group D. Group E, let's have a look at that one. Germany and Spain through. No surprise there either. Germany and Spain winning big in all their games. Germany beating Spain in the final fixture. Spain won 5-1. Germany beating Spain 2-1 in their clash as well. Two more big European sides through, unsurprisingly. Group F, again, no massive surprises there. The two European sides, not really how they powerhouses. Anyway, last year's runners-up Croatia through. Belgium, third place last year, winning the group, topping the group as well. Croatia dropping points to Morocco and Belgium with a victory over Canada, enough to give them 5 to go through as second place. Brazil winning their group with relative ease. Well, I say relative ease, they drew. Who did they draw to? They beat Serbia, they beat Switzerland, so they drew to Cameroon on the final day, but it was not enough for Cameroon to go through. Switzerland edging it with victory over Serbia to put them through as second place in the group. Brazil not really lighting it up though. Only 2 victories out of 3 games. They could have got full maximum points here. But speaking of maximum points, Portugal did that, and South Korea have knocked Uruguay out. Is that a bit of an upset? I guess it is. They won the first group game against them 2-1. Portugal undefeated in the groups. Not real a massive surprise there. Ghana out as well with a bit of a whimper. Portugal beating South Korea 3-0 in the final game. That puts them through as group winners, and that leaves the second round looking like this. Netherlands, Iran, Mexico, Denmark, England against host Qatar, Argentina against reigning champions France, Germany, Croatia, Brazil, South Korea, Spain, Belgium, Portugal and Switzerland. Let's go to the second round. So, into the second round of the first game, Netherlands, Iran. The highlights here, Iran had a penalty that they missed early on, but Netherlands here with a winner, a header at the back post by Gakpo, giving them the 1-0 victory. Iran getting a goal disallowed before half-time. Second match, Mexico against Denmark. It took them extra time, but the Mexicans were victorious in the end. This goal here sort of bundled over the line as an own goal mistake by Anderson. And then Denmark had a goal disallowed, I believe, or maybe they didn't. It was a very close chance anyway, but this was the winner, Herrera, getting the winner for Mexico with 7 minutes of extra time left. Foden, with this brilliant free kick for England, puts them 1-0 up, and they ended up winning quite comfortably 4-0. They were 2-0 up when Qatar went down to 10 men. This is the second goal here. Kane to Foden once again, who slots it through to Sterling, who first time finds the bottom corner. England looking pretty confident as they went 3-0 up before half-time. Chilwell advancing down the near side into Sterling once again. Who will he get his second? No, he feeds Kane, who gets his first of the knockout rounds. 3-0 before half-time, and then a comfortable final goal towards the end of the game with just a couple of seconds left, just heading into added time. England making it 4, putting their mark on the tournament, knocking out the host. Harry Kane getting a brace just inside injury time there. England 4-0 victors in the end. Next up, we had a massive goal fest. Argentina against France. So early doors, 25 seconds into the game, Griezmann scored for France to put them 1-0 ahead. And then they continued their charge really in the first half. Getting it to 2-0 here. Griezmann nodding it down to Benzema, who feeds Griezmann back again. Benzema and Mbappe. Lovely football from France to put them 2-0 up after 25 minutes. And then in the second half, it was France once again going 3-0 up. Argentina looking all out of, well, anything. All out of sorts. Griezmann once again involved. Gets his second of the game. 3-0. And then it went to 4 for France. Mbappe's corner. Not at home by Matuidi. 4-0 for France, and Argentina looking like they were crashing out. But things had not finished there. At the hour mark, finally, Argentina got back into the game. Dybala putting that one into the back of the net to make it 4-1 to France, but they weren't quite done. A little bit of a defensive mishap there. Dybala once again involved. Can he square it to Lautaro Martinez? I believe he can. Yes, he can. And he slots down with the front post. It's 2-4 now. Not finished though. Argentina with 2 minutes left on the clock, getting a third, making it look like they were going to try and push for extra time. An incredible comeback was on. Martinez once again at the near post, smashing it home. 3-4. But the final goal of the game went France's way. It was an 8-goal thriller, but it was not 4-4 heading to extra time. It was 5-3. France getting a big scalp over Argentina. Benzema getting the 5th goal of the game to put the world champions through to the next round. And also through to the next round was the runners-up Croatia, but it was a cracker. Another one against Germany. They went ahead early, but Germany were quick to equalise. 20 minutes gone, and it was already 1-1. Lovely ball in, lovely finish by Muller to make it 1-1. 20 minutes, and that's how it stayed until half-time. In the second half, Germany took the lead. Goretzka into Gundogan, Muller, Havertz, lovely ball to Sane, who managed to find a comfortable finish in the far corner. 2-1 to Germany, but we were not done. The pendulum swinging back once again. Croatia on the attack, and they managed to get the equaliser. Lovely ball in there, and Rebic with a lovely finish from the edge of the area to make it 2-2, but Germany were not staying. They quickly got the advantage once again. 10 minutes left in this game, and it was going to be 3-2 to Germany. Muller into Gnabry, who smacks it home to make it 3-2. And Germans looking comfortable in the end with 10 minutes to go. But in the injury time, the 92nd minute, Luka Modric involved. Croatia managed to sneak an equaliser. Rebic once again at the back post. 3-3. 92nd minute, and then at the very end of injury time, the 120th minute, it was a penalty for Croatia, and they snuck through to the quarterfinals. 4-3. Through also were South Korea. A massive upset of Brazil. I said they looked a little bit shaky in the groups. Son with the first goal of the game for South Korea after 22 minutes. A lovely finish, and Brazil were shaky. South Korea went down to 10 men, but that didn't stop them. They continued advancing forward. Kang Sang-woo, ball into the back. Hee-chan nods it past the Brazilian goalkeeper, and just like that, it's 2-0 just before half time. But Brazil did eventually get one back, but it was not enough. 10-man South Korea did enough to hold on. Neymar with a good finish, a turn and shot inside the area, but it was enough to put Brazil out. 2-1 South Korea. Spain also through, rather comfortable against Belgium, a goal in each half. Not much happening for either side really. It's quite a quiet game, I believe. Gerrard through to Oyarzabal, and then it's a finish for Spain in the second half, quite late on, 10 minutes to go. Pedri puts it back inside Lorente to Rodrigo, and Rodri gets a good goal there for Spain. 2-0, comfortable victory in the end for Spain. Portugal, however, were taken to penalties. No goals at all in the game or in extra time. Switzerland, however, did enough to just get by Portugal. They had a penalty saved, second penalty of the game, but Portugal could not take advantage. Bernardo missed. He clipped the outside of the post, and then in the very next penalty for Portugal, another miss was enough to put Switzerland through on penalties. Here we can see it was a great save in the end by the Swiss goalkeeper Sommer, putting Switzerland through with some heroics. The rest of the penalties went in, but it was a 4-2 victory for Switzerland on penalties. Portugal out. Ronaldo not getting anywhere near a World Cup. This is the tree as it looks. England, France, Switzerland, Spain, Netherlands, Mexico, South Korea, Croatia. Quarter-finals. And it was a penalty that decided things. 10 minutes left in the game. Mexico getting a penalty. Netherlands had one disallowed early. France, England also went all the way to penalties. No goals in this game. But it was France in the end who came out victorious 5-4. England once again knocked out of a World Cup on penalties. Once again knocked out by France. And there's Benzema slotting home for the current reigning world champions. Will they defend their title? Foden cracks the underside of the crossbar. And that was enough to separate the two sides. A great game, 0-0 all the way. But France on penalties. England, the curse continues. England out on penalties. You've heard that before, and that is it. I think we've got one more yet. Right here makes England have a chance. It's 4-4, but that is not going to be enough. 5-4 in the end on penalties. Croatia getting through as well to the semi-finals, toppling South Korea. The victors over Brazil. A lovely header at the back post by Perisic puts Croatia ahead in the first half. And then they went 2-0 ahead at the hour mark. A lovely ball over the top. Perisic involved once again. He just about finds the edge of the area. Kovacic, lovely shot from range. 2-0 Croatia. But South Korea were not down and out. Son's corner is nodded home. There we go at the front post. 2-1, but not enough. Croatia through once again to some more World Cup semi-finals. And then finally, another game decided by penalties. Switzerland against Spain. It wasn't 0-0 all the way, though. Switzerland took the lead in normal time instead in the second half, just after the half-time break. But Spain equalised about 15 minutes later, 70 minutes gone, to make it 1-1 and send the game to extra time and ultimately to penalties. And it was a long penalty shootout as well. Plenty of green ticks you can see at the top there, but ultimately it was Switzerland who did not do enough. They were through on penalties against Portugal, but they did not go through against Spain. We can see here it was 1-1, and then I think it went all the way through. I think all of the first 5 penalties were scored. As we'll see them here, Ramos putting one home. Good penalty in the far corner. Switzerland obviously did well in penalties against Portugal, but it was not enough to carry them through. Spain ultimately proving too much for this decent Swiss side, and Spain getting themselves through to the World Cup semi-final. And Morata smacking it home there. We're going to see some misses any second now. Not yet though. 5-5 on penalties, I think it got to, and then Gaia stepped up, scored. I think that one made it 5-5. Xhaka misses. That is when the misses start happening, but they aren't all of it. Spain missed a penalty as well just after there. We've not seen that one, and we continue. It's 6-5 now. 6-6. This one looked like it was going even more the distance than it already had. We'd already had 120 minutes of football and couldn't be separated, and we continued with penalty, and they're very, very close for a save there from Sommer, but it wasn't enough, and that was the winning save for Spain. 8-7 in the end, and the semi-finals are Spain, France, Mexico, Croatia. Semi-final time, and Spain and France is the other semi-final. We've got Croatia now in extra time, unable to get ahead of Mexico during normal time, but that was the difference maker. A bit of a sloppy defensive performance from Mexico in the end. Croatia through to another World Cup final, and they'll face France once again, who scored from the spot with 10 minutes left. Theo and Anderz putting France into the final. France-Croatia. Once again, here we are. But the third place playoff is first. We've got Spain and Mexico, and Spain went ahead early. Lovely movement down this near side. Pedri puts the ball into the back post. Koke scores with his head to put Spain 1-0 up, and then about 10 minutes later, They got a goal from the penalty spot to make it 2. And then it was quite quiet for the rest of the game. Mexico trying to get back into things, and another one from the penalty spot. Lots of penalties in normal time in this tournament. But Mexico got one back, but it was not enough. 93rd minute, too late. Finally, the World Cup final. For the first time in 30 years, we have this situation in the World Cup final. It's the same 2 participants as the last World Cup. France beat Croatia 4-2 in the 2018 final. Will they be able to do it again? Will they be able to repeat their World Cup victory performance? And we've got France advancing down this near side. Benzema to Pavard. We're watching it live now. We're not watching the highlights. Benzema out to Griezmann. 17 minutes gone. This is around about the time that Griezmann scored in 2018. Can deja vu strike once again? Obviously, that one finished 4-2 in favour of the French side. What is going to happen today? Griezmann through on goal. Griezmann through on goal. Griezmann has scored. Deja vu. It's happening again. France 1-0 after 18 minutes. You've been here before. You've seen this before. Will it end 4-2? We're going to see the replay. Kimpembe's ball nodded down by Pavard. Griezmann in too much space, left far too open. Lovely finish with his left foot, the number 7 in the bottom corner. 1-0 to France. Lovely, lovely stuff. Modric with a corner. Can Croatia equal? Oh, sloppy. It's gone in. It's hit Kante and gone in. It's 1-1. This was not in the script for the French side. It's 1-1 here in the World Cup final. A lovely corner from Modric and sloppy defending. It's just hit Kante and gone in. We'll see it again. Modric's corner. Everyone misses it. The goalkeeper comes diving out. And it's gone off Kante and gone in the back of the net. 1-1. Straight back into highlights. So 22 minutes on the clock. The 23rd minute of the game. France trying to advance. Benzema holds it up. Sissoko. Griezmann's lovely ball to Mbappe does not get to him, and Livakovic has collected that one. We have got we're halfway through the first half, and it's 1-1. I can see plenty of goals coming here. If we get another 4-2, that will be another great World Cup final. France looking for their 3rd World Cup victory. Croatia obviously looking for their 1st and looking for revenge as well. Lovely movement down this near side by Croatia. Pongracic into Lovren. Lovely passing across the back line. Trying to make some space to move forward. Lovely ball. Rebic, can he get the... Oh, he nearly took Croatia 2-1 ahead, but it was a good save by Hugo Lloris in the end in the French goal. And that is all of the action for the first half. And all of the action for the second half is it's now the 88th minute. Croatia with a free kick just inside the French half. The second half went by without anything happening. Literally not a single thing. But now, can we get a winner in normal time? Can Croatia do the impossible and finally win their 1st World Cup? They've only been a country for 30 odd years. They've only been in the World Cup for 30 years. Oh, and Benzema, Sissoko wins that one. Benzema has it. Dembele over the top. Kingsley Coman has won it for France. The 88th minute. A lovely finish from nothing. France intercepted around about the halfway line. And it's gone through to Coman, and he is a World Cup hero. Sissoko wins it. Benzema gets the ball as it comes free. Dembele's ball over the top. Kingsley Coman brings it down, takes a touch, slots it home. It's 2-1 France in the World Cup final. We have got a serious case of deja vu. That is it. That is full time here in Qatar. France are your World Cup winners. The 2022 World Cup winners are the same as the 2018 World Cup winners, the 1998 World Cup winners. France are 3-time world champions. Croatia once again losing at the final hurdle, not able to get past France, and the World Cup trophy is aloft. It's not the Jules Rimet anymore, it's the World Cup trophy, that's what it's called. And France winning their 3rd title 2-1. Griezmann and Coman with the goals. Kante getting an own goal for Croatia. And that is how the World Cup happens, according to Football Manager 2022. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, check out some of this content over here for some more fantastic videos on Football Manager 2022. And hit the subscribe button. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.